vision of a city overlooking the river. 1825, that vision was incorporated inside. Southern hospitality at its finest, one would even call it presidential. What you didn't know, we hosted presidents like Jackson, Fillmore, Eisenhower, McKinley, Roosevelt, away from Baltimore to our great city. Thank you, Sisters of Mercy, a covenant, a school, and later a hospital, and a legacy that lives on today in our Catholic school.
Present Dream, 1970, Hydro Heaven. Crullers Brothers, Dale Hall and Tara were known as the Speedboat Kings. 73, I-20 bridged the gap. By the 80s, promises were made and kept. Margaret's Groceries was a capsule for a king's queen. Clap your ears 3 times if you know there's no place like home. Just follow the Mississippi Great River Road. 88, Robert Walker, first black mayor of Vicksburg and first black professor at USM. 1990, Gator all the way. Region 2, 5A football champs, record 10-3. 91, businessman Fordyce rolled the dice and became governor. He was the first Republican to do that in over 117 years. 93, Al Capri. Some of y'all still broke, right? The year of 1998, the first native of Vicksburg and the first African American to head the Vicksburg district of the U.S. Corps of Engineers, General Robert Greer. '99 was divine. Brothers, Where Art Thou Famous Sin was filmed at the Southern Cultures Heritage Center. Gave us all something to remember. And the Riverfront's first mural gave us something to see. Renowned artist Robert Dever painted history. I believe the year was 2002, the same year that Merritt Health River Region opened its doors. When it rains, it pours. The flood of 2011. 2011. That's the year. 20 years, 2 minutes, and 200 seconds. We're almost there, almost the present. 2015, Malcolm Butler's famous football play. 10 South opened its doors and ended the wait. 2019, the sports complex did its thing. 2020, groundbreaking, the Mississippi Center for Technology and Innovation. But wait, there's more. Vicksburg, chosen as Newsweek's one of the greatest small historic cities in the world. Main Street, chosen as top 16. 200 years, 2 minutes and 200 seconds. You heard about the past and present, what was did and what was done. Hey, you should be proud. Our city's #1. 20 years and 200 seconds. Woo, that's enough.
200 years and 2 minutes and 200 seconds. After this, Vicksburg's history will no longer be a mystery. Newey Vic thought it was just a drive. Speaking of drive, let's take a trip down memory lane on this 200-year history thing. Picture this, future Vicksburg, somewhere before 1825. Methodist minister Newey Vic had a vision of a city overlooking the river. 1825, that vision was incorporated inside. Southern hospitality at its finest, one would even call it presidential. What you didn't know, we've hosted presidents like Jackson, Fillmore, Eisenhower, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taylor, and Grant. Not to mention Vice Presidents Calhoun and Hoover. Mahalia Roach erected the first known Christmas tree in Mississippi, right there in our home on Depot Street in 1851. Man, that's what the old Christmas tree tour homes commemorates. 1960, all the way from Baltimore to our great city. Thank you, Sisters of Mercy, a covenant, a school, and later a hospital, a legacy that lives on today in our Catholic schools. Troubled times. Mississippi, 1861. Mississippi decided to leave the Union, but Warren County's 3 delegates did not. The Honorable Jefferson Davidson, chosen as provisional president of the Confederate States of America, and gave his first speech as president-elect, right here at our riverfront. 1862, Confederate troops forced back an all-out attack. 1863, Vicksburg under siege by Union Army and Navy. 47 days before the Confederate forces surrendered on the 4th of July. As a result, Vicksburg did not eat barbecue on the 4th of July until after the 1945 victories. 20 years, 20 seconds. Wait, let me catch my breath. I still got time, don't you call the ref? Gotta speed this up, y'all. I gotta hurry up. America's first known black-owned bank, Freeman's Bank. Established Vicksburg, 1865. David Benz, 69. Benjamin Montgomery, first black man to hold a public office, Justice of the Peace. 1870, native of Vicksburg, Hiram Rain, first black man in the U.S. Senate. 1876, the river changed its course. The riverfront rebuilt by force. 1903, the Yazoo Diversion Canal was complete. On October 27, 1885, the first train to cross the Mississippi River, and Phil Gilbert was the first in the U.S. to pair shoes and sell them in a box. 1889, Anderson Tully began and kept expanding until it became the largest hardwood mill in the world. 1894, soda revolutionized. Joe Beatonhorn was the first to bottle Coca-Cola. Go downtown to the museum next week and you can do it too. 99, the military park got a start. 1915, Willie Dixon, the poet's Loretta the Blues, was born in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Dr. Jane McAllister became the first black woman to earn a doctorate in education, 1921. 1927, the Mississippi Valley floods. 29, the Mississippi Commission headquarters left St. Louis behind. 30, Waterways Experiment Station and the railroad bridge's creation. 3 years later, Vicksburg Little Theater. 3 years later, gold in its hill. Fact, it's the longest running show in the world. What is the longest running show in the world? What is the longest running show in the world? Hey, and if all she wanted to do was hear some down home blues, 1937, the Blues Room opened. And check out his line of stars. They had stars like Ray Charles, Fats Dominoes, B.B. King, Diane Washington, Louis Armstrong, and Little Milton. 38 people lost their lives in the flood of 53. Beautiful city, beautiful pageant. In 1959, the Miss Mississippi pageant moved to Vicksburg. Miss Mississippi Mary Ann Mobley was crowned Miss America. 1962, the red carpet was rolled. Classic. Postseason football game benefiting Leon Puckett, Travick. Allen, Baldwin, Ray, Robert, Vance. You know they created that red carpet bowl magic. 1862, the Zero sank. It took 100 years to raise. Now it's part of our park's display. July 23, the year was 64. Martin Luther King spoke at Pleasant Green. 1970, Hydro Heaven, the brothers, Dale Hull and Talbot Buford, best known as the Speedboat Kings. 73, I-20, bridged the gap. By the 80s, promises were made and kept. Margaret's Groceries was a king's castle for its queen. Clap your hands 3 times if you know there's no place like home. Follow the Mississippi Great River Road. 88, Robert Walker was the first black mayor of Vicksburg and also the first black professor at USM. 1990, Gator all the way. Region 2, 5A football champs. Records 10-3. 91, businessman Kirk Fice rolled the dice and won governor. No Republican had done that in over 117 years. 93, Ala Capri. The year 98 was the date. The first native of Vicksburg and the first black to head the Vicksburg district of the U.S. Corps of Engineers, General Robert Creer. 1999 was divine. Brothers, Where Art Thou famous scene was filmed in the Southern Cultural Heritage Center and gave us something to remember. And the first riverfront mural gave us something to see. Renowned artist Robert Dapper painted history. I believe the year was 2002, the same years that Merit Health opened up its doors. When it rains, it pours. Great flood of 2011. 2011, 200 years, 200 seconds, almost there, almost the present. 2015, Malcolm Butler's famous Super Bowl play. The anticipated 10 South opened its doors. 2019, the sports complex did its thing. 2020, groundbreaking. Mississippi Center of Technology and Innovation. Wait, there's more. In 2024, Vicksburg was named Newsweek's best historic small town in America. Vicksburg Main Street named top 16. 200 years and 200 minutes and 200 years and 2 minutes and 200 seconds. Man, that's enough.